because it's in Taurus, it's going to help us create safe spaces with the people that we love the most. Does anybody feel like they want to say something about themselves?
I'd like to go inside.
Before, I was going to keep it for myself, but actually, I think I'm a little bothered now.
Really, Bria,
What?
your dog stuff was in there with a clean towel. Sure.
Okay.
In a dryer, and
Okay.
I told you that.
All right. Okay.
That's your
Bria?
personal problem, so give it to me. Give it to me.
It's your personal problem.
Okay. Okay. Watch
Take your- take your-
Watch your tone. Watch your tone. Watch your tone.
No, you watch your f***ing tone.
Is it that serious?
Watch your tone, bitch. Do nothing. You're not gonna do nothing. Call me a bitch one more time. Black excellence is everything. At the end of the day, that's all I give a f about. Your wife's being fake right now. I f with Mariah heavy, but she went like this to the bitch.
Girl, take your. I did your bathroom now.
A few minutes later.
Can you please pass your time?
It was my room.
But wasn't aware of any of that, bro.
Right, so that doesn't make it right, though. Say there's like a law against slavery.
Okay, girl, bye.
Want to be a comedian, right?
Want to be?
Yeah.
I don't know who the f you are, but understand, I call some out.
We all got in this house. We established some Don't.
Yo, it's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, episode 2. And on this episode, it was really good to see, like, you know, everybody settling in, the dynamics are shifting, people are getting into it, because they throw in 2 new characters, and I think I like the fact that we're getting more people as the season progresses. Like, we're on day 4, so, I mean, day 4, day 5 is progressing. So we're introduced to Shanice in this episode and Phil, and they both bring different energies into the mix, and they definitely shift the dynamics, but let's see what's gonna happen. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, wanted, securing the bag.
So we continue with the conversation from the night before with Jordan. She's talking to Cecil about, you know, at the end of the day, she said, you know, in how she works and what she does as a model, she knows the dangers of going out and this, that, and the third. She's not over here a damsel in distress. She doesn't need protection, so she's very aware of her surroundings, this, that, and the third. So, I mean, I get what she's saying, right? They cut it short and they basically go, you know, to the house. Everybody's over here settling in for the night, and Jasmine and Cecil are over here having like pillow talk. You know, every couple has pillow talk, you know, just talking before you go to sleep. And Jasmine let him know, like, you know, you definitely were being unfairly to Jordan, you know, because your animosity or whatever it is towards the situation was towards Jordan, but it's overall, it's about me. Basically talking about Jasmine. And then the producers, we over here flash, you know, it shows the flash of them, like, you know, she's climbing back on the bed, getting real sexy. So I'm just like, okay, they're probably about to do it. I wasn't expecting them to show, you know, the motion of the ocean. I'm just like, okay, maybe this is toward the end. Hopefully she got hers too. But, you know, to each his own. Next. So next morning, Jasmine's up. She's doing her, basically what she says, her wifely duties.
I'm always gonna have my husband some eggs, some bacon, breakfast.
And I just don't want her to, hopefully she watches back, and I just don't want her to, you know, set a precedence that, you know, this is what a wife looks like. This is what a wife should do. And just like, I don't know, maybe she has said this and maybe I'm just jumping the gun because I've just seen it so much, you know. For me, in my personal life, a lot of women in my life, they cater to men where they throw their needs and their personal wants to the side, and they conform their personality and who they are for a man. And I personally don't like that. And the people that I have been talking about, I have spoke to them about it. So, you know, hopefully that's not what she's doing, but I mean, it is what it is. So, Cecil, he basically speaks on Jasmine and Mariah sleeping in their car when they were younger. You know, they were homeless in New York, and, you know, they made a way overall and ultimately made it a show. But he's like, yeah, you know, I have to push her in the right way financially. So, you know, basically that she won't get back to the area. And I just kind of feel like that was unfair to say that about her, because she was in a time where she was grinding. She could have went back home, lived with her family, but she stayed in New York and made a choice to do that, and ultimately overcame that before she even met you. So for you to basically make it seem like she is financially illiterate is kind of a slap in the face to all the hard work that she has done to overcome to become, you know, successful within New York. So I think that was kind of like a low blow for him to even say, even to her face. She's like, yeah. Hopefully they look back like, just like, girl, you know, y'all really overcome something. So yeah. So, you know, the Coopers, they go into the room, they talk about the whole, so the Coopers are basically talking about their whole, how they met, you know, they matched on Hinge, and, you know, there's like cultural differences, you know. On Cecil, he has his Liberian roots. Jasmine, she's from St. Louis. Jasmine feels like, you know, the house dynamics is going to shift once the new people come. And they did, right? So Amir, he grabs Jordan. He's like, yeah, let's go kayaking. Let's go do some water stuff. She said, first, am I gonna get wet? He's like, nah. She's like, okay, bet. Let's go do it. But Nick is just like, oh, he gonna really have to do something to really wow her. Like, he can't just do this normal stuff. She gotta do something really out of the box. My whole thing is this. I feel like Amir is doing what he has to do. Like, at the end of the day, Jordan is a very strong, independent, confident woman that she speaks her mind, and the way that she moves is like she's successful. She steps in her power, right? So for me, I just feel like if a man is genuine and he doesn't come off too strong like Nick, and he learns her love language, I feel like she will definitely give him a chance. But her whole thing is, just because you're fine, hot, and sexy doesn't mean that you're over here just gonna automatically, you know, break the walls down and get this cookie. Get this cookie. I ain't gonna say cookie shot, but you get what I'm saying. So Alex, Nick, and Cecil, they outside throwing the football, and they basically mention Shanice, and they're like, yeah, you know, she played basketball in college. And Nick like, yeah, you know, I slide in her DMs too. I was telling her that, yeah, you look so athletic, da 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 da. And like the producer showed like all the DMs that he posted, and all the girls are just like, I'm not feeling that. He coming off too strong. It's weird. It's creepy. You're doing too much. And I feel like what it was is the fact that he knew who's coming on the show. He knew who got casted. So what he did was research everybody, and he found the ones that he found attractive, and he just blew their timeline up. That's what it seemed like. Right? So Jordan, she's kind of stressed on the whole kayak thing. She's just like, this water splashing my face. We gotta go. I'm done. So, you know, it's shot o'clock. Everyone's ready to go bowling. I'm still on the fence with Bria. Bria did some things in this episode that I did not like. It reminded me of a lot of girls in college that I went to school with, and I don't like it. It's just like very much main character syndrome. Small town in a big, small girl in a big city. Like, I can't. But, you know, Jasmine pulls Bria to the side, and with Preston, and they're over here just kicking a little bit. And Jasmine asks, what, you know, have you heard from Simon? What's going on, this and third? And Bria's like, yeah, you know, one thing Simon does, if he was here, she'd let Simon buy us drinks. He'll be buying all the food. That he's just such a giver. And Jasmine took that the wrong way. Jasmine's just like, okay, first of all, I have a man that could pay for my own stuff, so I don't know why this and third. Did she just start bashing her about, you know, she just looking for men the good time. She don't need a man for a long time. She bounces around, da 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 da. And, you know, the producer's asking the confession, like, do you feel like Jasmine take your relationship serious? And Bria's like, no, she don't. And Jasmine was like, no, I don't take her relationship serious at all. She was like, because she'll have a man this time, they have a man this time. But then when the producer said about, like, do she know how serious the relationship is? It clicked in my head. I'm like, okay, so how serious is this relationship? Are we talking about a marriage? Because then that would be like, okay, so y'all really do try to get married fast. So Mariah tells everybody, you know, when we get back to the house, we're gonna be doing a Mariah moon mask. Everybody's like, moon mask? What is this? Nick is optimistic, and he's like, you know what? I'm cool for it. Let's see what's going to happen. It's basically a hoodoo practice that like passed down in through her family. So, you know, it's something that she's trying to share who she is to the group. So, you know, everyone leaves. They head back to the house to get ready for the mass. Everyone, you know, they get in their pajamas, and, you know, they get around the fire. So Mariah, she pulls out her crystal. She tells everyone that the moon is in Taurus.
It's in Taurus, and because it's in Taurus, it's going to help us create safe spaces with the people that we love the most.
And, you know, we're creating a safe space. Now, I feel like this is great intentions. I just feel like the weather, it was cold outside. So for me, I would have pulled Mariah to the side like, hey, Mariah, you know, I really want to feel this girl, but it's cold outside. I'm not a cold ass bitch. I don't do that. So I'm staying in the house. Pray for me there. Like, I couldn't because I'm not about to be over here freezing. But if I would have went out against my better judgment of being cold, I would have stayed throughout the whole thing. right? So, you know, in the middle of the match, Jordan and Nick, you know, they're harmlessly giggling, you know, nothing crazy. Amir's, or he's like, what's going on here? What y'all doing? And I'm just like, okay, jealous much? But, you know, everyone talks, everyone takes a moment, like a moment of silence while, you know, Mariah is basically centering the group. She opens the floor for reflections, anybody want to speak or whatever. And, you know, they were like, well, I'm just ready to go inside.
Say something about themselves.
I'd like to go inside. Yeah. I think mentally we're there.
I gotcha.
And it really just took the wind out of her, to be honest, I feel like. And I feel like for her, she seemed like a very guarded person, someone that, you know, likes to be around people, but, you know, she doesn't share, she doesn't share who she is like that. So I feel like for her, it's just like she put herself out there. First time on TV, and now you want to disrespect who she is and her heritage. And I just found that disrespectful for the whole entire group, and for no one to even say, hey girl, you know, I'm sorry that, you know, we could do this in the morning, we could reconvene, reschedule, nothing. They just went to sleep. I didn't like that. So the next morning, Shanice shows up, and she's a pretty girl. I was like, okay, Shanice, yes, everybody loves Shanice. So Bria is like best friends with Shanice. That's her girl, I'm assuming. And they just run, start hugging, and it was what it was. So Shanice let us know, due to her job, she was only be at the Vineyard on the weekends. Shanice says hi to Nick. Nick says hi. But Nick made this shady ass comment. He was like, oh, you know, that's not the girl I seen on Instagram. Oh, I don't know who she is. Oh my God. And I'm just like, Nick, you're doing a little bit too much. At the end of the day, we all know that the facades that people put on Instagram, and a lot of people take that to heart, like for real. Oh my God, she's so skinny. Look, what's her
name? Tana Mojo.
Okay, but my whole thing is, at the end of the day, Nick, outside of the show, Nick is like 8.5. In the house with all those men, Nick, you are at best 4. So you're doing a lot right now. Let's not do that. Shanice is a beautiful woman, regardless of if she look like her pictures or not. She don't look that drastically different. There is a thing called makeup, which enhances someone's beauty. So for him to make that comment, I just felt like that was uncalled for. So Shanice, she basically said she got her eyes set on Alex, and she was like, look, he gonna be in my bed tonight. I said, Jasmine and the girls, you know, they talk about marriage and friendships and the dynamics of the two. And, you know, I agree with the dynamics shifting, but I don't believe that, you know, women being in marriages, a lot of women feel like, you know, I can't be that close with friends. I can't do this. And I feel like it's not all women, but there's a few women out there that weaponize marriage to their single friends. And there's like, well, you know,
you're single, so I can't do the stuff that you do because I have a ring. I'm married. You're single. I can't do that.
It's just like, don't shame me because I'm over here single. You're married. Congratulations, girl. We're going to support you in your marriage, obviously. But don't over here down me because I'm single by choice, or just broke up. I got broken up with, or whatever have you. But a lot, I ain't gonna say a lot, but there's a few women out there that weaponize their marriage. And I don't like that. And hopefully Jasmine's not gonna be that girl. Like, you know,
I can't go out with you guys because, you know, I'm a wife. I have my duties. Like,
I can't. No. And, you know, the husbands don't get held to that standard either. You know, they can do whatever the fuck they want to. But everybody's going out for dinner. But Mariah and Preston gonna stay back. Mariah just want to sit on herself and just, you know, stay with herself. And Preston, he has some other obligations that he needed to handle before he can go out. And, you know, Mariah, she basically checks the laundry before everybody's walking out the door. Mariah, she checks the laundry.
I know y'all are leaving, but literally, Bria, your dog stuff was in there with a clean towel.
She's just like, okay, why is there some dog stuff in my laundry? And Bria basically put the dog clothes that was wet to dry in her laundry. And this could have been in some conversation, just like, hey girl, you know, this happened, da 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 da. But the way Mariah came at Bria and was very calm, clear, direct. And then Bria was like, okay, and?
Put your clothes that was in the washer in the dryer, and I told you that, right?
Okay, so
after I did that, there's other towels in there which are mine, but you're...
Yeah, I mean, that's your problem. The way that she rebutted Mariah heightened the situation.
Okay, well, that's your personal problem, so give it to me.
Your personal problem.
Are you bitches for real?
And then I get what Jordan was saying at the end. Well, you know, she pushed her, but she didn't push her. Girl, take your
Watch your tail. Watch your tail.
No, you watch your tail.
So I'm just like, we're not about to take away Bria's responsibility in the mess. Bria was being very much dismissive and disrespectful from jump. And then Bria threw something at old girl. Yes, she called you a bitch, but I think the boundaries have already been broken, and I don't think nobody cared at that point.
Anything that we say is gonna break that up?
Call me a bitch one more time.
Bitch. What the fuck are you gonna do?
Do not. Do not.
That's not
Let's not be
enough.
childish. Lady.
So we all gonna be like, oh well, Mariah.
We can't do that.
We can't, because Bria got 60% of responsibility. Period. So they over here turning up, having a moment, and it's going crazy. And they're like, watch your tone, watch your tone. And Bria, she is giving a girl that, you know, she gets bigger, larger than life, gets louder as a defense mechanism, because she don't want to fight. I don't feel like none of, like when the old girl was like, oh, she could call me a bitch again, and she said bitch, and she threw the thing at her head, and she's just like, girl, that's not gonna move me. Like, if you really was about it, girl, you would have tried to. And then she pulls everybody aside, they break it up, whatever. She's trying to mediate and mitigate the situation, but she's not. She's basically telling Mariah, like, you know, what you did, you were over here calling her, you know, the B word, da da da, and it's just not making the situation any better. Like, at that point, you should have said, girl, you know, what she did was wrong. I'm gonna talk to you about this later, but right now, let's just try to calm the situation down, this, that, and the third. She should have, instead of, in that moment, you could have calmed your friend down, because that's your best friend. You could have, you know how to calm your best friend down. You could have calmed your best friend down and just be like, okay, we're gonna talk about this later on. And then when later on happened, you could have said like, hey, this is what I think happened, this, that, and the third. But I don't think anybody was over here hearing, because they were already hitting each other's triggers. So everyone left, and Mariah and Preston are at the house. And, you know, Mariah, she just, you know, breaks down and starts crying. You know, that made me feel so bad, because, you know, you could tell that she's not that type of girl. She might be, but I don't think she meant it to go that far. Shanice left with the guys, and so since Shanice left with the guys, Bria felt pissed off because she got left by Shanice. So when she got to the restaurant, she sat down, and then she got up because, you know, Shanice was acting oblivious. So they were just like, y'all need to go check her. You need to check on Bria. You need to go check her. Back at the house, there is a new guy that's walking in, and his name is Phil.
Oh, let's go, let's go. What are you, just like the house tour guy? Why are you running like you know where you're going? Come in.
Just come in.
You know what? I'm gonna meet y'all there.
And when I tell you, aesthetically, Phil is my type.
Down.
I said, he tall, he fine. I'm like, nice build. I'm like, hold on, like, what's going? I was just like, okay, cool. You know, he seemed like he's really cool. He comes in, he's like, where's my room at? Where's my room at? His energy seems very, you know, irritating. We'll see that towards the end. But they jump back to everybody going to the club after the restaurant. And, you know, they go to the club. The club is getting very much Monday night BOGO sale. Like, buy one drink, get one free. Like, yeah. But they're going to make the most of the situation.
You know me, I got the confidence. Alex has got it.
And, you know, Phil, he's over here running around the house, letting the dog out. When they go back to the house, and Mariah, Preston, and Phil are getting ready to meet the people down at the club. So Phil thought it was a good idea to go take a dump in Nick's bathroom, because I guess that was supposed to be his room.
What I do is peacefully disrespect somebody who disrespect me first.
But he had to realize that Nick came on day 1, you came on day 4 at night, damn near day 5. So it's one of those things, like, regardless if that was your room, it's not your room today. So yeah, but they all get ready, they get dressed, and, you know, everyone's at the club now. And, you know, Preston goes straight to Nick and was like, look, I'm gonna give you a heads up. I think he moved your stuff out your room, and yeah, you need to check that.
Hope you better walk your stuff. I think you're still trying to move your stuff. Yeah. What's going on, bro?
Over and told Nick, you know, yeah, I took a dump in your toilet too. And I think Nick thought it was like a joke, because he didn't take it serious.
I'm telling you, I think he moved your stuff.
Leave a note on it. Just leave a note. I did your bathroom now.
But we transfer over to Bria. Bria's in the corner soaking. She's over here mad. She's just like, oh, this is crazy. And she was like, she pushed me and y'all ain't doing anything about it. I'm just like, Bria, what world are we in, girl? You act like you are like this victim. You are not the victim. There's no victim in the situation. You want Mariah to be wrong. Like, girl, take responsibility for the way that you acted in the situation. So Bria tells Silas, because, you know, Jasmine came over, you know, probably just in passing, and Jasmine's just like, you know,
one thing I care about is black excellence. Girl.
Oh, so Bria tells Silas, she's like, yeah, your wife is fake.
Black excellence is everything. At the end of the day, that's all I give a about. Your wife's being fake right now.
So
basically, she said, like, you know, Mariah put hands on her, and, you know, everybody's acting so calm and coy. I'm like, girl. So Bria's pissed. And she goes outside. She's over here, start crying while everybody's over here just chilling. So Jordan pulls Jasmine to the side, and she's giving her like the business, not like fighting, but she's just like, girl, at the end of the day, she's over here crying, and she pushed her. You need to tell her that she don't need to put her hands on nobody.
She did, and I with Mariah heavy, but she went like this to the bitch. So you're gonna have to really tell Mariah, don't ever put your hands on somebody.
She don't do nothing like that. That just going ham. I'm just like, I get her viewpoint because violence is never the answer, but did she push her
Or did she push her?
There is a difference. Then
Take your
then
fucking whore, you motherfucker!
because she didn't really push her. Like what? Like
I'm confused.
right? But it is what it is. They go back to the house, and all of a sudden, you know, Nick goes downstairs. He goes straight to the bathroom, and he sees the poop in the toilet.
Your bright idea was to come to Oak Bluffs, defecate in a toilet. Is this real life right now?
And this made Phil very unattractive, annoying, irritating. And then, you know, Nick, he changed his clothes, he goes upstairs, he confront Phil. He was like, yo, you need to go flush the bathroom. And the guy was like, what? I told you I did that. I'm just like, okay, you told him you did that, but he told you to go flush the toilet that you left in the toilet. Like, what are we talking about? So Phil starts rambling about, you know, Bria supposed to left a note. She supposed to left a note. That was supposed to be in my room. Too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
It's not your room. So now what? Some way, somehow, we get on slavery.
Like, say there's like a law against slavery, and you didn't know because you live in the fucking South. I'm just minding my business, slaving my slaves.
Girl, I'm about to get the fuck up out of here because...
What? How do we get to slavery?
I'm like, nigga, child. What are you talking about? Like, it was crazy. Like I said, the attractive meter went down at least 6 points, right? So Nick's walk away. He's just like, I'm gonna flush it. I ain't got time. And Phil's like, yeah, you better flush it. Yeah, you better flush it.
I'll flush the toilet myself. I'm good now. Well, I know you will, because you walking away. You gonna flush that toilet.
I hate when people do that. If you have something to say it to my face. I'm in your face 10 toes, strong, not moving. Say what you gotta say with your chest. But, you know, you won't wait for me to leave.
Which is weak.
So Alex is like, oh, so you're a comedian. And I don't know why that triggered Phil, because Alex was literally chilling. And he was like, look, I don't know who you talking to. I don't know where you from, my dude, but da-da-da. I'm like, where'd this come from?
You want to be a comedian, right?
Want to be?
Yeah.
I don't know who the you are, but understand, I called some shit out, and I told everybody not to touch my shit that I called out. Yeah.
Like, you over here, who are you mad at? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who are you mad at, right? And then Amir gets up and just like, at the end of the day, like, you over here coming in here trying to ruin this stuff. And you trying to do this. He's like, I might be small, but I ain't playing. Cause the height difference, I was like, ooh, how tall is Amir? Please let him be at least 5'10".
This is your why you coming at us like this is your house? This is our We all got in this house. We established. Don't come in here ruining this
Please. But y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.